So hello and welcome to the New Gig Podcast. I'm your host, Glenn Hodgson, and today I'm delighted to be joined by CEO and freelancer, Dovilė Daugvilaitė. How are you doing, Dovilė?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. So
Cool.
Please give us a little bit of background about yourself on, what you've been doing and how you've got to where you are today, a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so I come professionally from project management expertise area. So I've been doing project, program, and portfolio management in banking and ad tech sectors before. I started in my student years with finance field. So I have finished the finance bachelor and then, had 2 years of corporate job in that area. I think the first day I went there, I realized that job from 9 to 5 was not for me, gladly or unfortunately, but I've been there for quite some time. And then I switched to project management. But basically before that, I was also doing lots of voluntary and social work during school years and during university years. And then somehow realized, not somehow, I have actually a very good story. Maybe I would like to share it also today if we have time enough.
Yes.
But there was one day when I realized that enough is enough. So I started doing my own business.
Yep.
So now it's been 3 years of Planas Gyvenimas. It's Lithuanian name. It would be in English Plan for Life, so to say. So I have combined two topics, personal productivity and project management. And now we are running in Lithuania. Yeah, and that story, if to give a bit of background here,
Please.
I had a 12 months of burnout.
Okay.
And after we have finished, I finally understood that it was a burnout. So, now I work with many clients that are going through the same journey or are just in the beginning of that. But basically those, I couldn't say, corporate years gave me this opportunity, very nice opportunity.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a career choice. So finally I understood that this working habit that I have, 9 to 5 management, status reports and stuff like that was just not for me. And then somehow the mindset finally shifted. So here I am today working for myself. It's been a full year now in April this year.
Excellent. Congratulations. Well,
Thank you.
I think this is really interesting, Dovilė, as well, in terms of what you've done. The fact that you've, in Silicon Valley, they talk about failing fast, but actually realizing very quickly what is not good for you, what doesn't suit for you, as much as what you really want to do and what your sort of passion and dream is. And how did this sort of manifest itself? Were you feeling sort of stressed? Were you feeling anxious about the work situation, or was it just a case of I don't really fit in here, I want to do something different?
I think it was a combination of many different things. We are all different personalities.
Yes.
But now looking backwards into that year of 12 months, very nice journey. Well, I think it was, as I said, just a career choice. Of course, corporate years gave me lots of different network opportunities, people, background, expertise, and stuff like that. So, always thankful. But if you're asking how I was feeling, I remember very clearly a few nights where I just, lay in the bed from excruciating pain, puking and trying to puke, and, not very nice stuff going around, but you just don't understand what's going on. And when you go to lots of hospitals and doctors, and all they say is you're totally fine, perfectly healthy, maybe try to deal with your head. Then I realized, maybe it's something in my head. And I started to talk to people, mainly colleagues at first, then some specialists in psychotherapy. Didn't find a person for myself. So it was very long in a way that I didn't know when it was actual end towards all that stuff. And it was the most painful part, but then I just recently saw one video, I think it was on TikTok, where a person said that when you know internally that it's time for change, you are in depression with lots of anxiety and that not very funny stuff, but then internally you already know that it will be time for change. So I don't think I failed fast, as you say, as they say that in Silicon Valley. It was a very long journey, not only those 12 months, but I think, as I said, from first day of my 9-to-5 job, I realized that it's something just not for me.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's been like 5 or 6, maybe 7 years of that whole journey until
Right.
when I hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've basically identified what the issue is, and thankfully there are options out there. It's not just the world of work is no longer just a 9 to 5, going to one place, selling hours to one employer till you're 65, 70, whatever it is. Things have changed a bit. So tell us a little bit about sort of the new lifestyle, a kind of the more flexible arrangements that you have sort of working for yourself. What are some of the benefits, but also perhaps some of the negative sides of this too?
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's been, as I said, 3 years of my company running. So
Mm,
within the first 2 years, I've been having 4 jobs. So one corporate,
wow.
2 side jobs, and this that I'm running right now. So
Excellent.
yeah, it's also been a very, so to say, long decision to actually quit and, go solely on myself.
Yeah.
So one of the drawbacks is, nothing new, probably this income variability.
Yeah.
So basically, it's been those 2 years that I had to, plan, schedule, and finally get myself up and tight with all the finances so that I can, go totally on myself, work totally on myself. But
Yeah.
I think all the pros are overweighting all the cons in
Yeah.
that area. Of course, it depends on
Mm,
lifestyle and what you like to do in your life. In my
of
case,
course.
it's probably the best visualization of how it's going. It's the last year where I have spent half a year abroad, which I
Okay.
could never do before. COVID, especially. COVID times, of course, changed our lifestyle in a way we all know.
Mm,
But now that I'm working solely on myself, half a year spent abroad, working from wherever you like, is just awesome.
excellent.
Simply talking.
So you've basically taken on board the digital nomad lifestyle with a computer and a electricity and a
And
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
connection. You can work
Yeah.
from anywhere and deliver value to companies and organizations.
True. Yeah, but of course there's not also this, some um, digital sphere that's somewhat nice or not so nice, but also the mental capacity.
Right.
There's so much space and place for all the decision making and stuff that's
Yeah.
going on in the business.
Yeah.
Of course, depends what kind of business you would like to run. In my case, it's selling hours to many different companies. So again,
Yes.
I'm still selling my hours in some way.
Mm,
But you don't have to deal with all the, as I said, management reports,
yeah.
statuses, updates, HR things. You
Yeah.
are the same person for yourself, but that's also a drawback in a way.
Mm.
That you are a solopreneur, so you are alone in your ups and downs, in your decision making, and it's sometimes a very lonely place.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not a case that someone else can take the slack, or if you're feeling a bit down or a bit slow, someone can actually take this up. Basically, you have to rely on yourself for the sort of the delivering the product, the marketing, the new business,
True.
also the administration as well. We still need to pay our taxes and report to the authorities, do these kind of things. So everything lands on your shoulders, which is empowering, but it's also time consuming as well. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and for some people, those I would, draw this all to one word: work boundaries.
Yeah.
I think if I haven't had this corporate burnout experience,
Yeah.
I would have landed with the same work boundaries I had before, meaning working 24/7,
Yeah.
hustling, and all that stuff,
Yeah.
all that culture. But I see lots of people who are actually making a decision to go solo,
Yeah.
for working for themselves, and we still have no work boundaries. So basically, as you say, all those hats that we have, from administration to
Yeah.
being CEO, is taking lots of time. But
Yes.
yeah, either you do it the smart way or the hard way.
Exactly. That's very true. And how do you find that in terms of prioritization and setting those boundaries and those limits that you talk about? How do you separate your lifestyle from your work style and create those kind of the divisions?
Fairly easy, as I
Okay.
had this, painful experience.
Mm,
Yesterday was a perfect example of Monday, where I had pretty much on my to-do list and lots of stuff to do, from administration to decision making and strategy.
yep.
And I just laid in bed all day because I didn't feel like.
Okay.
So basically, priority is my body and my health at this moment, and
Yes.
especially after that year of burnout.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, it's very easy, fairly for me, because I know what's, the dark side of it, and it's
Mm,
very hard to explain for people who don't know or who haven't gone it through themselves.
right.
So yeah, learning by doing.
Learning by doing is usually the most powerful way for everything, Dovilė. But also, let's say a little bit about how technology and digitalization is transforming society in the world of work as well, because through technology and new services and new applications, you're actually able to live this lifestyle and be able to work from anywhere, but also deliver values to companies and organizations without having been physically present. How is this sort of changing, would you say, in terms of the world of work? Is it accepted? We hear a lot about sort of companies demanding people to return to the office and having negative views towards remote working and digital work. I mean, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think there always will be people who are on to some part of a topic, either going for, working from home or not.
Yeah,
Very randomly today, I saw a LinkedIn blog post. Cannot remember the name from who it was, but basically it said that digitalization is so yesterday, and I completely agree, because we are all on computers,
yeah,
who are, having this lifestyle, and basically no computer, no internet, no work for me.
yeah,
But
yeah,
there are
yeah.
also many, workforce people that are working in service industry, where we have to be, present specifically for, I don't know, restaurants or construction
Of
business and
course,
something like that. So
of
it's
course.
completely different topic. But in my case, I completely agree that we are digitalized enough so to say that we can work. I think the bigger question is what we do with digital content, and how
Right.
do we make decisions out of that we generate in that whole area.
Mm,
So yeah, ChatGPT, thanks for people who created that. I use it probably every day. Of
yeah,
course, I also have a very specific way of working. I'm in consultancy business.
yep,
So, people who would be, let's say, social media administrators or marketing people, they would use it probably every 5 minutes to create some digital pictures or
yep,
posts or texts. Yeah, not so often for me, but basically it now has enabled me to direct the digital content and not to create it. Basically, to give prompts to computer to say, hey, I need that and that, and then I completely
yeah.
either agree with what you present to me or no,
Mm.
and then I can make decisions what to do next.
Excellent. So it helps you with the content creation side of things. Do you use it for sort of picking the right hashtags or the right emojis to use in some of the social media things as well, or what's the sort of the sort of the day to day, would you say, in terms of using GPT Plus?
Yeah, actually, not only content creation, but mainly some idea generation for many different
Okay.
things, from strategy to finances, and
Yeah.
what to do in that case and stuff like that.
Mm.
But if to talk about content creation, yeah, lots of my businesses, handled through social media: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And
Yeah.
TikTok, we have started it actually just last week on Friday or Thursday.
Oh,
So the
really?
whole,
Okay.
yeah, so the whole creation of that strategy, which is yet, uh, living mechanism, but the whole creation of that strategy was solely ChatGPT prompts. Hey,
Oh,
can
really?
you do me this and that? Hey, could you please help me with some ideas here and there? So yeah.
Wow, there we go. So it's this is the perfect embodiment of the open AI technologies and creativity from the human side as well to produce a product. So that's fantastic. And tell me about sort of, this is a lifestyle that you've ventured into. You very personal reasons why you've wanted to choose this, but how would you find in terms of the learning what is right, what's wrong, how to do this? A lot of people I speak to say that the education system as it stands today, particularly in a sort of a European and an American context, doesn't really shape a lot of the skills, knowledge, and expertise that you need to run your own business, to be able to be a solopreneur in these terms. Would you say that there is ways that need to change, because the thinking is still very much to work for a company or a government organization and be part of a machine, be part of a 9-to-5 culture? Is it still the fact that you have to sort of find out by yourself in terms of how to be an entrepreneur and how to be able to make money from your own skills, knowledge, and your own internet connection?
Yeah, that's a very valid and good question. I think, but it's only my opinion, because
Yeah.
I'm fairly young person, so I
Yes.
finished school like 10 years ago or something
Yep.
like that. So I somehow feel that in Lithuania, because I was raised here,
Yep.
we are fairly advanced in that area nowadays.
Mm.
So with those young people that go to school, I think not only education system is doing the work, depending, what you say, either they're um, motivating you to go to 9-to-5 work or be a solopreneur, but very how to say, um, the role of parents is very important in that
Okay.
area as well. So
Yeah.
I see that the parents are now becoming the millennials, so basically me and my age people. And
Okay.
we are those who are working from home, so or working from elsewhere. So I think
Yeah.
it will change, not very rapidly and slowly, but in Lithuania, what I see, well, I have some young people in my social loop as well, in family.
Yep.
They are going to school at the moment, and they are not even thinking about any, specific direction of, let's say, finance or business administration or marketing or whatever. And working from 9 to 5, they're going places already. They are selling themselves, they're selling some stuff for their peers. And
Yeah.
yeah, it really depends on the environment you are in. But yeah, education is probably the main trigger, that grows us. But I
Yeah.
think it won't be very soon that it will change so drastically that we all would have every opportunity, to explore before we go into the work environment and world.
Yeah, understand. So it's going to be a balance between the two. Well, I think the future is already upon us, and things are moving so quickly as well. And I think that the way in which the sort of the tools and skills and services that are there already are facilitating this change. It's sometimes just the mindsets of individuals who need to accept this, as opposed to the reality is already way ahead. And it's great that you've come on today to share some of your thoughts, knowledge, and also your personal experience as well. So really appreciate that, Dovilė, and yeah, good luck with the future endeavors.
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation. I hope it helps at least somebody, maybe somebody's going through a burnout or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's actually very nice to share a personal story for international audience as well.
absolutely. Well, thank you very much indeed for taking the time to do that. And as you say, office environments and 9-to-5 work fit some people very well, but there's a whole percentage of the population, whether for sort of mental health reasons, physical reasons, whether they've got sort of other responsibilities like looking after children, looking after sort of people with handicaps or older parents or things, who can't be 9-to-5 in one place, and require a bit of flexibility, but still have a great deal to offer in terms of knowledge and expertise. So I think that this kind of more flexible approach to the labor market and what is work as opposed to what is a job, I think is really helpful. So thank you very much indeed, Dovilė, and we will speak again soon, and you can come back and update us on how things are going.
Cool. Thank you, Glenn.